told you this movie was good, baby. Curry Barker's Obsession has made over $16 million at the box office during its opening weekend against its micro budget of less than $1 million. It's also received overwhelmingly rave reviews from horror fans, and folks are already wondering if this will become a new horror franchise. The YouTuber turned horror film director may have some other projects in the works, but he does think that there will likely be some sort of continuation to Obsession in the future. Let's talk a little bit about that.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
I want to be a fighter, like you.
Oh, let it burn! Let it burn!
Did you miss me?
You have to shoot them in the head. They always come back.
The boat can leave now. Tell the crew.
Well, sometimes that is better.
Good luck.
Hey everybody, I'm Killjoy Jake. Today we're going to be talking about Obsession 2 if there's more to come in this outrageous, be careful what you wish for style universe. Before we do all of that though, please make sure to like this video and subscribe for more horror videos just like this one. A brand new interview with Curry Barker has been released where he talked a little bit about a plot hole in Obsession, as well as wanting to do more in this established universe. I want to talk about this plot hole first because I think it's really interesting, and maybe not even a plot hole. During this interview, Barker talked about how outrageous it would be if the One-Wish Willow really existed and really worked. If you could pay $6.99 to have any one of your craziest wishes come true, I think the world would look a lot different than it did in Obsession. Expanding on this, Barker said, I mean, it's kind of a plot hole. It's something I don't like to think about too much because it totally doesn't make sense that there's a world of people just making wishes. If the One-Wish Willow actually works, which it does in this lore, and people are just making wishes left and right, there would be some crazy, like, dragons would exist. The world is pretty normal from what we see in this movie, so it doesn't really make sense. He continues with an explanation saying, here's my take, every time someone makes a wish, they enter into an alternate reality where their wish comes true. So you're not experiencing everybody's wish at the same time. And that's why, but that doesn't make sense because the money falls from the ceiling.
Yeah, it's broken.
Wait, hang on now, Curry. You're so much of a genius, I don't even think you know it. So if people get teleported into an alternate universe where they're just experiencing their one wish, who's to say the One-Wish Willow does not exist in that alternate universe? Therefore creating a whole new series of wishes that can be made, except from the original creator. Because he can only make one wish, that was made abundantly clear by this film. Now, does that also mean that Ian in this alternate universe wished for $1 billion, but then there's another version of Ian, maybe prior to Bear's wish, that could still make another wish? This is Wishception, baby. Get Christopher Nolan to direct the sequel. Now listen, if you want to look at this as a plot hole, that's totally fine, but I don't really care all that much. I think this movie is trying to serve much more as a metaphor for codependency while also having some really fun, crazy, popcorn-feeling antics to it. Logic shouldn't be the first thing that you think about when creating a great horror movie. If our favorite horror movies were perfectly logical, they wouldn't be our favorite horror movies. As Jordan Peele once put it, this is a thoughtful popcorn movie. It's got multiple layers, and thankfully it wouldn't be able to exist in our real world. I don't want a freaky Nikki running around, man.
I'm your freaky Nikki.
Now, Barker does admit here that he would love to do more with Obsession, but maybe not necessarily a conventional sequel. In the same Total Film interview, he said, I obviously have a couple more things that I'm excited about next, but I do see Obsession 2, maybe. Or even what really is exciting to me is maybe an anthology, like a 1-hour episode. Each episode is a different wish that goes completely off the rails. Maybe I'll direct the pilot with the same DP, and then you can invite other filmmakers to give their spin at it. That would be really cool. So this already has my brain bubbling up with some crazy ideas. There's a few general things I think you'd have to keep consistent from the feature going into a series like this. Like, you gotta keep that same tone that Curry Barker was able to apply to this story. I know pretty much every single person who has reviewed Obsession has talked about how this is basically a be careful what you wish for style story, a monkey paw style story, whatever you want to call it. But that's something that's kind of as old as time and pretty much everyone is super familiar with. You've definitely seen at least one movie like that before. Obsession works so well because it found a way to tell that story in a brand new way. Could we do that for 10 more episodes of TV, even if they were only an hour long? There's complexities to Obsession that I think make it something much more than just a be careful what you wish for style story. It's kind of expanding upon the rules that we were all so familiar with before. I mean, think about Aladdin.
I can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else.
This movie runs with that rule and kind of changes it a little bit. What if you did wish for that? What would that look like? I kind of look at what's happening to Nikki as she's possessed by someone else that is actually super crazy in love with with Bear. It sounds like a fate worse than death to me, being Nikki, who can only just watch as a passenger in her own body as basically this other entity destroys her entire life. That movie was so goddamn sick, twisted, and thought out. You'd have to apply that to the series and pick a great group of directors that could emulate that same sort of vibe. Now, there's a million different episode ideas running through my head right now of what you could do with that 10-episode limited series based in the universe of Obsession. You could do some things inspired by already established horror movies, but put some sort of modern spin on them. Take Stephen King's Thinner, for instance. Could we do something like that in the modern day, but have it be some sort of like play on Ozempic? Or going back to Aladdin for a second, the genie had 3 rules, and only one of those applies to Obsession. The genie's other 2 rules is that he can't kill anybody and he can't bring anybody back from the dead. I mean, speaking of Stephen King, you could do like a whole new take on Pet Sematary, even though the Filippo brothers kind of already did that recently.
We can bring her back.
There's a million ideas just like that you could explore in some sort of series like this, but something else I would love to see them kind of tackle is who is this One Wish Willow Help Center employee? In the film, Bear calls the number on the back of the One Wish Willow box, hoping for a way to alter his wish somehow. The Help Center employee is voiced by Barker and is very cryptic and creepy.
Just because you chose this for her doesn't make it less real.
He even asks Bear if he wants to talk to Nikki, like the real Nikki and not the thing that is possessing her. In that same moment, we can hear Nikki screaming in the background on the phone call. Curry Barker's character in Obsession could lend itself to an entire episode where maybe we don't even focus on someone making a wish gone wrong, just talking a little bit about what this call center is like day to day. Could we talk a little bit about where the One Wish Willow came from, who's selling it, and why? If they have like these help call centers, they must be like some sort of big corporation. What's up with that?
What are you wishing for?
Could you imagine if the CEO of this company came across the willow tree that you can make these wishes from? Maybe he was the first person to make a One Wish Willow wish. He wished to be like a Fortune 500 CEO, cracked the thing, and then bam, I'm selling One Wish Willows to everybody else. Maybe we've already been in an alternate reality this entire time from the moment the movie started. We have also heard from Curry Barker during a Perry Nemiroff interview that he doesn't necessarily keep like a lore Bible as to what is going on in Obsession. So whatever happens, I don't really care if it lines up with everything else that's going on in this expanded universe. I just kind of want to see some really creepy and scary fucking stories, man. And if right now you're hankering for more Curry Barker, well, the guy is crazy busy with a ton of other projects as well. He's currently in post-production for a movie called Anything But Ghosts. This one is going to lean a little more into the comedy realm, which is something That's a Bad Idea, Curry's YouTube channel, is definitely known for, as well as the horror stuff.
Can we please finish milk and cereal? We're halfway through. No.
The film follows 2 paranormal investigators who are some charlatans, absolutely faking it, bro, for content and views and likes, all that fun stuff. And then they actually come across a real demonic entity and get all kinds of fucked up. The movie stars Aaron Paul, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Violet McGraw, as well as Curry Barker and Cooper Tomlinson, the duo from That's a Bad Idea.
Hey, I'm Terry, I'm a ghost. I think when I died, my tie was really tight.
I think this is gonna be a really fun movie, and I have a theory that it might be some sort of commentary on an already pre-existing paranormal duo here on YouTube. You may or may not know who I'm talking about, baby. Maybe the most exciting project coming from Mr. Barker is his new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, which he has recently signed on board to make for A24. This will be the 10th installment in that franchise after a couple sequels that weren't really all that well regarded. I'm absolutely loving a lot of the things that Curry is saying about his new adaptation of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. He wants to make this movie with a lot more heart and more than just about a guy wielding a chainsaw and cutting people up. That's a really great point, considering a lot of the sequels are just kind of about that. Curry Barker also wants to put a big focus on the Sawyer family this time around, not just Leatherface. I cannot stress enough how much of a good idea that is. I will be covering everything Curry Barker ever does for the rest of time because Obsession was that good. God, I loved this movie, and God, I'm excited for all of these future projects. Are you guys excited for more Obsession, some Texas Chainsaw Massacre from Curry Barker, and also this Anything But Ghosts? Let me know which project you're the most excited for down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe, and as always, don't forget to kill it out there, y'all.